Welcome to Indiana News Desk. I'm Joe Wren. The Department of Child Services says asphyxiation was the leading cause of child neglect deaths in fiscal year 2015. And according to DCS data, nearly a quarter of those incidents were the result of parents failing to provide safe sleeping environments. But as Barbara Brozier reports, what constitutes a safe sleep environment is an issue that's hotly debated among medical professionals, researchers, and parents.
From the moment you step into Anna and Beth Drowsty-Glowinski's home, it's clear they don't get much downtime. The moms have 3 daughters who keep them busy: Ellie, Lila, and Josie.
So they each have different needs.
That's one of the reasons Anna and Beth decided to co-sleep with their kids.
And then we sleep in the bed. Mama. Yeah.
While each of their daughters has her own sleep space in the room, they can move into their parents' bed if they want to at any point in the night.
We're not forcing our children to co-sleep with us, but if they want to come get a snuggle, or they feel scared, or they might just need a little reassurance, or we're going through a big transition, we can just be available to them.
Anna says it allows her to nurse Josie in the middle of the night without having to go into another room and sacrifice her own sleep. Oftentimes, Josie will spend the rest of the night in bed with her parents. It's a practice called bed sharing, and one that Anna and Beth say they researched extensively before trying.
There's a lot of research that shows that especially really young children, bed sharing regulates their temperature, regulates their immune system, their breathing, like their whole body. So to me, it's important when they're babies to have that like ongoing comfort.
But several national organizations, including the Centers for Disease Control, National Institutes of Health, and the American Academy of Pediatrics, say while sleeping in the same room as an infant can be beneficial, sharing a bed with a baby can be deadly. The Indiana State Department of Health offers the same guidance to parents.
We have something that we refer to as the ABCs of safe sleep. And it's really easy for everyone to remember. A child needs to sleep alone on their back in a crib. And what that means is alone, that means absolutely nothing in their sleep environment. So no blankets, no pillows, no other humans.
The Department of Child Services says in its most recent Child Abuse and Neglect annual report that 17% of the cases investigated in fiscal year 2015 were child deaths due to asphyxia. The agency says that number demonstrates an increased need for safe sleeping practices. But James McKenna, who runs the Mother and Baby Behavioral Sleep Lab at Notre Dame, says blanket statements condemning bed sharing are misguided.
It's very frustrating that they use this wonderful goal we all have of reducing infant deaths in this way and making themselves irresponsible statements about the nature of the parents who are exhibiting this behavior, suggesting that they're irresponsible, or suggesting to Child Protective Services that they need to have their babies taken away from them.
McKenna has observed hundreds of mothers and babies as part of his research over the years. He says bed sharing can be safe and even beneficial to both babies and their mothers if done under the right circumstances. McKenna's research says only babies who are breastfed should bed share with their mothers because of the special connection it establishes.
There is a biological integration of how mothers' bodies are actually responding and can respond to those babies in a safe, non-drug using, an environment in which the mother did not smoke.
And that's another key part of McKenna's research. He says when organizations advise against bed sharing altogether, they fail to educate parents about the many factors that can make the practice unsafe. In all of the bed-sharing deaths DCS investigated in fiscal year 2015, the parents admitted to or tested positive for drugs and alcohol.
There has been this terrible failure to understand that bed sharing is the beginning of a conversation. It isn't the end of a conversation. It is not a discrete variable. It is composed of many variables, including the nature of the relationship that the mother has with the baby brought to share.
But the State Department of Health maintains bed sharing isn't safe under any circumstances.
Being asleep next to an infant and having your arm across their chest can actually result in a sleep-related death.
That puts parents like Anna and Beth in the middle of the heated debate, trying to decide what's best for their children.
We decided that our doctor doesn't live with us, and they're not a parenting expert. So we take medical advice from our doctor, and we take parenting advice from parents.
They plan to keep practicing what they consider safe sleep, giving their daughters the option to make their way into their parents' bed when they need to.
So for us, it's about being able to be available to our children during the nighttime, because parenting continues all night long.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Barbara Brozier.
IU Health launched a new Safe Sleep initiative last year that aims to decrease infant deaths. Every woman who gives birth at an IU Health hospital in the state will get a sleep sack, which won't get caught on the baby's nose and mouth. There is an educational component to the program, too. IU Health also teaches parents what's called the ABCs of safe sleep, which means a baby should sleep alone, on its back, in a crib.